Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of UFC recap. We don't really have a name yet, but
No, not yet. We'll think of one.
Yeah, tweet in, let us know. Anyway, anyways, yeah, we've been away for Christmas, so we haven't managed to recap everything that's gone on in the world of UFC recently. So we're looking back today. We're obviously going to recap UFC 207, which happened last weekend. But let's start off. First off, Jamie, have a good Christmas.
Pretty good, yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, my favourite bit was what about I think December 30th? That was a good night.
December 30th. I don't know.
So yeah, let's go straight to we had before Christmas we had UFC in Sacramento, which was a pretty decent fight card for a BT Sport event.
It was.
So we had a few alpha male guys there fighting. The biggest one I think was Uriah Faber. It was his final fight.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
I don't know. I've always liked Uriah, California kid. He's always been around the block, and he's had a good career. Went out against Pickett.
Yeah. Even though he's English, I just don't read.
I've always liked Faber.
Yeah, me too. I think he's done so much for
the lighter weight classes.
Yeah, as Garbrandt said last month.
The real pioneer.
There's no one
bringing those light weight classes into.
You see small guys when the sports like becoming prominent. You got things like Liddell and Couture, who are just inconceivably big for someone so small to really get into sport. He was like such a pioneer of small guys who.
He's paved the way.
Oh,
really,
absolutely, yeah.
definitely.
Even for people who didn't like him, Cough Cruz. he's got a knock his hat to him as well.
Yeah.
So this fight, there was a fight happening as well. It wasn't just bye Faber.
No.
And he fought. We said Brad one punch Pickett. It went the distance, but I think Cruz dominated Cruz.
Still thinking about Cruz.
I think Faber dominated pretty much the fight. I mean, he had most strikes each round, 3 takedowns, 6 takedowns, 5 takedowns altogether. Excuse me.
Yes.
Submission attempt, 89 strikes. I think it was
pretty dominant.
Yeah, 30-26 and by all 3 judges. So, yeah, a nice little. Not obviously easy because no fight's easy, but a nice win to cap off his career in his hometown as well.
Just to leave his legacy intact. I think
exactly.
It was a good way for him to go out
and
in his hometown, especially.
There's so many more things for him to do now in terms of running alpha male, and there's so many other things he does.
Or maybe a potential job with Fox, possibly.
Maybe.
I know Misha Tate is going into that.
I think that's brilliant. Misha Tate's got that job now because I think I heard it on Unfiltered with Matt Serra and Jim Norton. They were talking about how it's great now that they've got a woman analyst as well because it's not obviously now women's MMA is so huge. Actually having someone who's been in there with women, it's a lot better because obviously you're not going to have
personal.
Yeah, you're not going to have Woodley or Bisping. Obviously they're great, but they don't know what it's like for a women's fight.
No.
So I think it's pretty cool that they've got because Misha Tate's so good at talking about the fights as well. So I think it's really cool that she's doing that.
No, definitely.
So up next on the Sacramento card, how do we trying to find?
I've got it.
Fight card. You've got it there. How did you get to that?
I went on.
Behind the
UFC
scenes.
Fight Night. Just type in UFC Sacramento. You got it.
We got it here.
Okay.
So the co-main event.
It's Super Stage Northcutt.
Against Mickey Gall. Some people I can't remember who I saw talking about it, but there's a few people who said that this didn't deserve to be the co-main event given their records and their age.
Yeah.
But I think we're in the world which I'm going to talk about this later on. The UFC, because the new owners, I think I've been able to notice a lot recently that the fights being made aren't based on rankings or weight class.
No, it's pay-per-view.
It's more on interest, and there's a lot of interest in it purely because you had Northcutt, who's he's so young, but he looks legit with that body and that look.
Upcoming guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you got Mickey Gall, who obviously fought CM Punk, so he's automatically well known despite having 3 professional wins. But still, there was again like the previous fight. There's so many backstories behind each fight now, but again, there was a fight in this one. You had Northcutt is predominantly a taekwondo.
Karate. Taekwondo, I think.
Yeah.
I believe. I mean, he's won world championships around the world. I mean, you see pictures of him when he's a kid.
World championships around the world.
World championships around the world. World championships around the world. I mean, he's been winning karate championships from when he's a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's legit in karate. A lot of people pointed out that maybe his ground game, jiu-jitsu, wasn't up to it, and he's going up against a high level brown belt.
Mickey Gall, I think every sentence he says, he uses the word jiu-jitsu.
Oh really?
So, I think he can't. Every interview I've heard him in, he says jiu-jitsu at least 5 times. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but again, like his previous fights against CM Punk and Michael Jordan or Johnson, I can't remember.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jackson, I think. It was Michael Jackson actually. His UFC debut. Again, both those fights, like this one, was won by rear naked choke. So his submission.
Well, he's high level jiu-jitsu.
Oh, it's amazing.
Brown belt. I mean, he's pretty young as well. I mean,
yeah, I think Girls 24 and Northcutt's 23. So,
I mean,
regardless of loss, they're still going to be there for years.
I saw this fight going this way. I mean, Sage has the advantage on the feet. I know he's a good high level striker. But if it was going to go to the ground, I always saw.
I don't know. You had that bit in the fight where actually Gal did tag Northcutt once, and he.
I mean, Gal said before the thing. He said, "Look out for my hands. I'm actually good on the feet."
Yeah.
And he did prove it in some sense. I mean, yeah, it went. I mean, did you see Sage chatting shit though in the actual fight?
Yeah, which is surprising. I liked it.
Fun.
Yeah, because he looks
I don't think you've ever seen Sage
a
say a swear word in his life.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't swear. He was like, "Golly gosh, get up and fight, you rapscallion." Yeah. He probably didn't say that, but yeah, it was a good one. It's interesting what's happening next for Mickey Gall, because even though he's only won 4, or he's 4-0 now, isn't he?
I think he's 4-0, yeah.
But despite only being 4-0, because he's gone up against such prominent people already, everyone's going to see him fight in a big fight next, and he'd called out Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
Which I don't think.
I think Dan turned it down.
Yeah, he wants someone who's more experienced.
Didn't want to embarrass
the young guy.
Yeah,
but I don't really want to see that. I'd rather see Dan Hardy fight someone, because I think it doesn't work for either of them. Because Mickey Gall, he needs to keep fighting people on his level. He maybe move down to lightweight because he said he wants to cut weight because he's fighting 170, which doesn't really suit him.
I mean, yeah,
fight people. Yeah, fight people.
Sage fought at 170. That's not his weight class.
No, they're both lightweight fighters.
Yeah.
But this is just interesting. I think they just kept it there. So yeah, main event was Paige Van Zandt versus Michelle Watson. So obviously in Sacramento, a lot of interest at a team alpha male competitor in the main event, as they like to have.
Yep.
It's because obviously it's one of those cards or fights, I think, where you have someone who's pretty well known in the context of UFC, like Paige Van Zandt, and then Michelle Watson, not many people know, and it's very similar to a lot of things like the Holm Rousey, where the lesser known person wins because they're just a better fighter, and that happened here where Van Zandt, like Sage Northcutt, her ground game just wasn't up to scratch. That's how she lost against Nami Yunus as well. And you had Michelle Watson winning after how many minutes? About 2 minutes into round one. Rear naked choke.
You said that Paige has been submitted. What was it? You said she's been submitted by a rear naked choke
to Nami Yunus. Yeah.
Nami Yunus as well.
Yeah, that's how she lost. I think it was last year, which obviously I think she knows that's where she needs to improve on. But again, like the previous fight we talked about, she's so young. It's not like everyone has losses in there.
She's going to have interest. I mean, even if she does lose.
Yeah, exactly. Because as Joe Rogan said, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
So she's always going to get people wanted to see her purely based on that, because it's a juxtaposition of what you expect a fighter to be. You always expect to be like big brutish people, and she's obviously not. Here's Michelle Watson.
Big tough, yeah. Big tough. Not. I mean, anyway. Sage and Paige, they're the oxymoron, sort of the opposite of what you'd expect to be a fighter. But yeah, you can still rip your head off. But I think.
I love that Michelle Waterson's in that, and you got Grosso, the Mexican girl, both, because the strawweight division with Joanna is so dominant. It's great to have 2 new people come in and just like say, "Hey, yeah, we're here as well."
But Watson does look really like a prospect.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's something we've never seen with Ian Jacek going to the ground. She's probably amazing at that as well, because she just seems incredible at everything.
Around, yeah.
We've had, I don't know if did you see Rose Namajunas call out Michelle Watson? She wants to fight her next.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I guess what we've been saying, because they fought each other last time, and it was when she fought Paige Van Zandt, she also won by rear naked choke as well. Yeah, so she's gone for the argument that we both beat her the same way. Let's see who's better if we're both good at ground game. Which I like to say, to be honest, because I think you need to start thickening out the contenders in strawweight again, because you've got, as you said previously, after 205, Jacek's beat the top 3 contenders now in Esparza, Kadelia and Kovacevic.
She beat Shevchenko.
Shevchenko's bantamweight.
Bantamweight.
Yeah. I mean, you got Jessica Andrade, Rose Namajunas, Tisha Torres. She hasn't fought since losing to Namajunas.
No,
I don't think. And now Michelle Watson and Grasso as well, and Van Zandt. There's so many good fighters in this division. It's gonna be really good.
It's pretty stacked. It's just, I know a lot of people said Paige Van Zandt, she took some time off to do sort of Dancing with the Stars. She does sort of entertainment stuff as well. Maybe that took away from training camp.
Possibly, yeah.
I think even Michael Bisping, he said, maybe not relating to if she was going to be a success or not. It was just, did you see her doing like the dancing and the weigh-ins?
So stupid. And Michelle Watson was like, "What, are we really doing this?"
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. Yeah.
I mean, she was maybe a bit less reluctant to get into.
I can see why, because Bisping's like he's like one of the old guard in the whole UFC, and he seemed a bit annoyed. Let me see if I can try and find it. A little thing he said about Paige Van Zandt, because it was.
It was interesting.
Here we go. Sorry for everyone listening if it doesn't sound good. Let's see what it was.
Kind of an interesting time right now. It really is, because it's the rankings at this point have almost gone to the wayside, and everyone is just angling for these money fights. Conor McGregor is the guy who kind of,
this is a dangerous business.
These guys, we're just going to skip to.
Here we go. Last he want me to fight. It's not about. A lot of people, you see them after a fight, they say, "Yeah, I'll fight whoever the UFC want me to fight." It's not about that. It's about getting in, making some noise, getting a following, selling fights, and making as much money as possible. This is a dangerous business. This is not a game. Last week I watched Paige Van Zandt fight, and this is not a knock on Paige Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt is a very, very nice girl. She's a lovely young girl, and she's got a lot of heart and all these types of things. But she went into that fight, and she's smiling and she's grinning, and they're dancing at the fucking weigh-in and all this stuff, and it's like, this isn't a game. People get hurt. I've had multiple surgeries. I've had eye surgeries. I've had knee surgeries, elbow surgeries.
Yeah, so I think you got a good example. We had a bit of the hiccup at the beginning there, but again, it's reiterating what we're saying, where it's a bit stupid where she's like doing break dancing before
the fight.
I don't think it's a bit stupid. But it's who she is. She might just rebuttal saying that's what I want to do. People approach fights different ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we had obviously the Fight Night Sacramento before Christmas, and before New Year's we had the return of Ronda Rousey. Year and a month out after losing her title to Holly Holm. What did you think? We'll get to that fight in a bit, but first, what did you?
I had no idea what was going to happen coming into this fight.
But did you like that Rousey was back? Did you enjoy seeing her back walking to the ring with a bad reputation playing from?
I did enjoy seeing her back, just because I remember watching her back in the day when she, threw a lot of girls on their heads. She was so dominant back in the day.
We had also another fight. This card was looking not obviously to rival 205 back in November, but I think one of the best cards we've had all year until we had obviously 206. I think my favourite card of the year, just based on
just performances.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we were also supposed to have Cain Velasquez versus Fabrizio Verdun for number one contendership for the heavyweight division.
That was pulled.
What was that even about? Like, why?
I think Cain had some medical issue. I think he had to go into surgery. I'm not sure why.
So he was going to have surgery after the fight, and Dana said well, it's ridiculous to even consider putting someone in there if they know they're going to have to surgery because it's just not healthy. Which I kind of understand. Even if he was like, I'm feeling good. Yeah. Regardless
I'm sure I'll see that in the future.
The 3 fights we had to close of this show, because we had a few fights previously. We had Garcia knockout Mike Pyle, knockout of the night. A weird no contest thing with Tim Means and Oliveira in the early prelims. That was really strange because the 3-point start to the floor, but
let's not get into that.
No, let's not get into that because there's a lot
contentious subject.
So we had the number one contenders bout between former bantamweight champion TJ Dillashaw, who was number one contender at the time, which he loves telling you about, and John Lineker, who was number 2, who fought John Dodson in the summer, didn't he? So
yeah, that was
he was looking really strong.
But
man,
TJ was electric.
He was amazing.
He was brilliant.
It's
one of the best performances of the year, I'd say.
Oh, easily. In terms of ground game, we're looking here, 5 takedowns out of 6, a submission attempt as well, but didn't really work out because he's not really known for his submissions.
No. But he was dominant. I haven't seen. I think TJ does deserve the shot. I'm not going to go into it, but Garbrandt obviously won. I think TJ does deserve it now with such a dominant performance over a Sansel before Lineker.
Yeah, which was a 1 and 2 fight at 200, wasn't it? And now it's 1 and 2 fight at 207. Yeah, it's inconceivable that he doesn't get the next title shot.
He's beaten the best guys.
Yeah, but it's like we said though, if it's based on interest. Of like pay-per-view interest, and because there's a contendership seems to be going out the window again, because you've got a rightful number 1 and number 2 in the lightweight divisions who should be fighting each other for McGregor, but we don't know who McGregor could be fighting next. Could be Woodley, could be Jesus.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then you've got Garbrandt, who was number 5 and going against Cruz. Let's go to that because that was we've had they put up the top 10 fights of 2016 a week before this fight happened, but I think they should have withheld it for a week because this is easy. I think, with the exception of a few others, this is one of my top 10 of the year.
It was painful watching it just because I'm a Cruz fan, but God was Cody good.
It's amazing.
He really was fantastic.
Yeah, it's really weird because I remember because I was saying when I was watching it, I remember our conversation on the previous podcast after 206 talking about this one, and we both said like, oh, if Cody doesn't knock him out in the first round, Cruz is just going to drain him, like he always does to everyone, and win easily.
Garbrandt played Cruz's game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he really did. I mean, his boxing was on point.
Yeah, he's
Cruz couldn't hit it.
Not just saying his boxing, but it's also the way he was dodging all of his punches. Yeah, it was incredible. What do you think of the breakdancing and the push-ups and all that sort of stuff?
I don't know. It was a surprise.
Yeah, I was watching it with some friends who don't really understand or don't watch the UFC as much as we do.
No.
And a lot of them, it was very 50-50 in terms of how they perceived, and they were like, oh, I hate this guy, why is he doing this, what I do? And then my friend was like, oh, I love it. So I guess it's just...
That's a lot like Conor as well.
Yeah, you want to get polarising figures in the sport, because everyone likes you or everyone hates you, then it's not as good, to be honest. But again, he won, was it 46-48, 46-48, 47-48, so unanimous.
He knocked Cruz down 3 or 4 times in the thing. I mean, what a chin Cruz has as well. I mean...
Yeah, he got straight back up, didn't he? What about that gash on his eyebrow?
Yeah.
That's brutal. The whole crowd just gasping. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. I think, it's as I said to you, I know your Cruz is your favourite, but when a champion's been around for a long time, like DJ as well, I like it when someone loses it. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air in division, and I think it's going to give. Obviously, I can't speak for him, but I think Cruz, it will give him more of a. Obviously, he was completely focused before that.
Did you see the way the press conference?
I loved that.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, because usually you get people who say, "Oh, f him, f that. I should have won this. I should have won." But he was like
respectful.
Yeah, he was completely respectful. And he was like,
"Lost.
Move on.
What can I do about it? I mean, let's move on. We'll go again."
I liked he said how Cormier's lost. He's champion. Bisping's lost. He's a champion. Like they both come back, and so will he.
It's a warrior mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think I'd like to see him maybe fight someone like a Sunsao or the winner of Sterling. Or Sterling versus Sunsao in a few weeks.
I don't know what the matchups will be. I think, as I've said, TJ deserves the shot, and there's also a bit of interest there because obviously TJ leaving Team Alpha Male.
Yeah. What did you hear? I heard Garbrandt on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, and he was saying that I think he's trying to start a pot already because he said how Dillashaw was a cancer to their team.
There's history.
There's a great backstory there because you can even bring Uriah into it as to why TJ left. And McGregor said it on the Ultimate Fighter a few years ago, saying
snake in the grass,
yeah.
All that stuff.
And Garbrandt was there trying to start with Conor. That's so cool. It's even better now that Garbrandt's a champion.
I know. It's got a good story behind it.
So yeah, we've got new bantamweight champion leading into 2017, and let's move on to the women's bantamweight title, which was, as we said, we saw Ronda Rousey returning to hopefully reclaim her throne. Didn't really go to plan though, did it? Against Amanda Nunes.
Hopefully, I wanted Nunes to
well, I mean, hopefully in terms of her point of view.
Her point of view.
I wanted Ronda to win, but you're out for a year, and it's. I think what I thought would happen in terms of like she got punched. The first punch that was thrown straight in her face. I think it was like, oh yeah, this is what
I'm fighting.
Adjustment. All the stuff in training is nothing compared to actually getting punched in the face by someone who actually wants to be.
Punch back, you know.
Exactly. And Amanda Nunes, just absolutely dominant. And she's had a great year.
She was fantastic.
I mean, Bisping was put fight of the year purely based on his results and unexpected results.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody saw him being champion this year.
But you could put Amanda Nunes in that conversation. She retired. If Ronda does retire, she's retired probably the 2 greatest female fighters of all time, Miesha Tate and Ronda Rousey, beating both of them for the belt, main eventing both shows, which is very rare for someone who's not belt. I mean, she's fighting 200, but she would main event because of other stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's main event because of Ronda. Do you know what I didn't like though? After everyone who, obviously we can't talk because we've never fought in the octagon before, obviously.
No.
But like people like all these memes and things to Ronda Rousey like saying like and Bieber. Do you see that?
Well, I don't know.
You just got knocked the F out. Like, shut up. I get why people.
I think
talk
there's a lot
rubbish.
of hostility to Ronda because
she's so
I don't know if you saw, like, how bad she treated Miesha back in the day, like the Ultimate Fighter. She really was quite disrespectful.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know. When you're on top of the world and you get, knocked out twice. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what to say.
The one performance of the night, which is, I guess, considering because in a manner that she did it, it's going to be. You can't really dispute it, can you?
I mean, Nunes was just fantastic. She came out from the gates, just barrage of punches.
It's interesting to see Well, what do you think happened to Ronda next? Do you think she'll go?
I don't think she'll fight again.
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, the only real interest, I think, because like we said, contendership seems to be going out the window now, and I think she'd only ever fight for the belt again, which I don't think you can really
I don't think
give,
you can
give
have
a good argument
I think
for
she
her
needs
to
to
fight
fight
for the belt.
someone before that.
Mm.
But then again, that doesn't. As you said, it's money. I don't think that sells.
That's why there's so many interim belts being chucked around now.
She could fight for an interim belt, but I don't think she's worthy of that.
Yeah.
Losing 2 on the trot.
206 was heightened even more because it's fighting for interim featherweight. It shouldn't have been because there wasn't the number 1, number 2 fighting. It was like the number 2 and number 5 or something.
Yeah.
But give a belt on someone, it adds more interest.
I mean, they're giving interim belts out like.
Yeah, is it
like nobody's business.
Nurmagomedov and Ferguson might be for an interim lightweight title. Or Nurmagomedov and Nate Diaz. I mean, saying for a championship it adds interest, but I think it also devalues the original title as well. I think
it takes a bit out of it, doesn't it?
Which I did like when John Jones, when he came back for 197 for that few weeks when he came back against OSP for interim for light heavyweight, because obviously Cormier got injured and he got given that interim belt. He's like, this isn't the real belt, and just chucked it straight away. Which it's not. It's like, stop pretending that it's the real one.
It isn't the real belt, no.
I think Holloway knows this and he wants that real fight against Aldo, but that's a long way to go.
I've heard Garbrandt actually wants to fight Aldo now. Wants to take out another legend. Yeah. I mean,
everyone wants Aldo.
Cruz is one thing, Aldo is another.
I think he could do it.
Is he big enough? Like,
he lives it quite small. Do you see him next to the boy who he was inspired by, the boy who had cancer, and he was that boy was like nearly as big as him in terms of like, it shows how small the bantamweights are.
No, I mean Aldo can go up to 55 easy.
Oh yeah,
he's a big guy.
So what about Amanda Nunes? What do you think's next for her?
Who's she gonna fight next?
Yeah. And technically, it should be
Shevchenko Pena.
Yeah,
I think that will be.
But she's gonna want a money fight next because she said, she wouldn't mind facing the winner of Holm versus Durandame after the first fight belt.
I think she said she can go up to 145.
Yeah.
Get that belt just like Conor did.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't, because there's a great story, because everyone's saying with the featherweight. We'll talk about 208 in a bit, but talking about how with the featherweight belt, women's featherweight belt being introduced, it seems like a big panic because obviously they were hoping Cyborg to come in, but after what happened with her and getting banned for a year, I mean, it seems like they're rushing wanting. I mean, it's good to introduce more divisions for women because they've only got 2 so far and we need more.
Yeah,
but
the 3rd one will be a real.
Yeah, but it just seems like they're adding that by doing this, making this division, they're eliminating more fighters from their bantamweight division because Durandame and Holm are both from.
It's quite a stretched out division.
Yeah. Well, it isn't. I mean, I think because as with Amanda retaining, there's such an interesting fight between her and Holly Holm because the 2 girls who both knocked out Ronda Rousey, they're both famous because of the person they beat.
Then for them to fight each other.
Exactly.
I mean,
if you had it, maybe you can for the featherweight and the bantamweight, it'd be quite interesting. But I would have preferred to have maybe some new people coming for a featherweight. Maybe I wish Cyborg was there, but because she was perfect for the featherweight division.
Why didn't she? Is it?
I mean, let's actually find
out. A conflict with Dana White?
No, well, because she was supposed to. Because Dana White offered her this 145 fight months ago.
She turned it down, didn't she?
She turned it down originally when it was like 8 weeks' notice because she said she couldn't cut weight to 145. And then he asked her again, okay, we'll do it at this card, and she said, oh, I'm not able to because again I can't. So this starts with someone up. They tested her. And it says, December last year, she was notified of potential USADA doping violation by Chris Cyborg. Cyborg's team, they responded as regards to a substance that helped her recover from her weight cut. Because she looked in complete agony when she's trying to
make
weight. Because 140, she did not look healthy. She won both fights, obviously. She looked like an absolute monster. But
she's huge.
Yeah, it just wasn't very healthy. But obviously, there's ages to go in terms of. She'll be back in a year. She's only 31, so she's got a good like 7 years left of her, so she'll definitely come back. Same as Jones, they're both those bad stories, but they'll both be back and better than ever, hopefully. So yeah, we just recapped 207. In the context of the whole year, how do you think this one ranked behind other events we've seen this year?
207. In terms of I think my favourite this year has been 205.
I think so as well. I mean, it was such a huge stage, wasn't it? You can't really top it. I mean, I liked 206 based on the quality of fights because they were all like sleeper men. We had Duho Choi, even Cerrone.
Oh, the Cub Swanson fight.
And Cerrone, Matt Brown.
Matt Brown.
Yeah.
Matt Brown.
Holloway just destroying.
I mean, not a lot of people
Pettis.
thought this was going to be a great card. Turned out to be one of the best of the year, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I think it was. What card was Stipe Miocic?
203. I was about to say
203.
that one. Yeah, that was really good. He had that CM Punk thing, which I guess is good. Yeah,
sort of thing.
I loved it because I used to like WWE, so I was happy to see him, but he was awful.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw CM Punk winning.
No.
I wanted
to.
It was interesting.
I remember just hearing his music hit, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's like wrestling again." But
it showed the level you need to be an MMA,
absolutely,
a professional MMA. I mean, he should fight if he wants to do MMA. He should maybe go into amateur tournaments.
Well, apparently he's going to be fighting UFC again. Apparently, because he spoke to Dana White again recently, and they might be fighting again, supposedly.
All right.
So we've got also. It's now 2017, so Happy New Year to everyone. So to kick off January and the new calendar of UFC 2017, we've got the returning prodigy. It's BJ Penn.
You said it right this time. Prodigy, yeah.
What did I say last time?
No, I remember Mike Goldberg. He always used to say prodigy.
Prodigy. Oh, did he? Prodigy.
Prodigy. You can never say it right.
Prodigy. It's Prodigy. You confuse me now. It's Prodigy.
Prodigy.
Yeah. Shut up. But yeah, no. So he was one of the alongside. Was it Couture?
Oh, Randy Couture.
He's one of the first two guys to hold two belts, not simultaneously like McGregor, but two belts in different weight divisions, welterweight and lightweight. This time he's not going to be fighting at those two weights. He's actually moving down to featherweight, which is quite interesting, and he's against someone I think can be dominant for years to come.
Contender, yeah.
Is number 10 ranked featherweight Yair Rodriguez. He's only 24, but his most recent fights against Caceres and I think it's Ricardo Lamas at I think it was at 199. Well, I can't remember which card it was, but again, he absolutely just amazing jumping kick with his shin right to Lamas' head. It was a ridiculous one. He's a very flamboyant fighter in terms of. Have you seen?
I've seen Penn fight a couple of times.
No, Rodriguez.
Oh, Rodriguez. What am I talking about? Sorry, Rodriguez.
I think I really want Rodriguez because it's similar to my whole thoughts on that Dan Hardy, Mickey Gall situation where you got to go. BJ Penn, if you watch the UFC countdown which came out yesterday, he's adamant on wanting to become featherweight champion. It's not just one little. I'll come back and fight. He wants to be featherweight champ, so it'll be very interesting because I think I'm always conflicted with older fighters coming back just because if it was like, hey, you've had your time, but if they still feel ready to go, then why not keep it going? Yeah, this card. I don't know. There's a few sleeper fights in this. I mean, you've got obviously in terms of the actual skill set and. If she's going to be a decent contender, I mean, Amanda Nunes said she's going to, because Amanda Nunes' girlfriend Nina Asarov is fighting in the main event on the Fight Pass. Interesting, purely based on who she's associated with. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I've also got the most recent episode of Dana White Looking for a Fight, which came back last week. I think one of the lads from the show is actually fighting on this card as well. Where is he? I could be mistaken. Here. Devin Powell. No picture of him yet. But a lightweight fighter.
Just in the most recent season.
Yeah, the one last week. Yeah. So there's a lot of good. Even in the prelims, there's a lot of good fights happening. You had Jimmy Rivera versus who's it? Marlon Vera, which is really supposed to be Brian Caraway, Misha Tate's other half, which I was really looking forward to see because I love fights between high number contenders that aren't 1 and 2, but like 4 and 6 and 3 and 4 and 7 and 5.
Rivera said Caraway pulled out because he was scared apparently.
Wow. Which
is interesting. I mean, he's on a tear right now.
Beat Faber at 203 in the summer. Yeah, he's doing really well. Someone who, he's on a tear. His name's El Terror. El Terror.
That's appropriate.
There's going to be some good fights happening this weekend. I'm looking forward to Rodriguez Penn. It's going to be very interesting because you've got someone who's so hungry to, well, both of them equally, but opposite ends of the spectrum. You've got a young guy who just not scared of anyone, and someone who's been in the game for so many years.
Just come back to prove a point.
But he wants to stand. He wants to stand with him because BJ Penn's known for his like black belt in jiu-jitsu, but most of his training camp's been a Perillo Bisping's coach, and he's at Winklejohn as well, and he mainly wants to stand and train in this fight, which is interesting because that's what Rodriguez does. So I think it's gonna be either a decision or a knockout in that.
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Are we gonna look into the next? We got a few more coming up before 208 in Brooklyn.
Yeah, maybe Shevchenko Pena.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, Denver. I'm really looking forward to Denver. I think, in comparison to 208, I would say I'm more looking forward to this than I am UFC 208 at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you've got Cerrone, who everyone loves watching him at welterweight because it's just fun.
It's just the great fighter to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then you've got Arlovsky.
Arlovsky, yeah, he's lost quite a few recently, but he's against the guy Francis Ngannou, who is a much younger fighter, but he could be a lot hungry to win, or you could have Arlovsky who just comes back. That's going to be a good one. It's not announced on UFC's website so far, but it was called off at Albany because I think Sterling got injured. But also in this card you've got Alderman Sterling against Rafael Sansa as well, which would be a very good fight because again it will define the bantamweight contendership a lot more. So maybe one of those guys could fight eventually down the line against Dillashaw, Cruz, or Garbrandt. One of those guys.
Potentially. No, Sterling does look good. I have to admit. And Asensio was his last fight against Dillashaw. Has he fought since?
Yeah, and he hasn't fought since. He was supposed to fight Sterling in November,
of course,
December time, but it was called off. I do like the look of Pena Shevchenko though, because you got Pena who she fought at 200. I can't remember who it was against, but they're number 1, number 2. So logically, if the UFC abides by the rules, the winner of this fight is fighting Amanda Nunes next. Because you have Shevchenko, she beat Holly Holm in the summer.
She did, yeah.
So she's not exactly an easy fight.
No, of course not.
30 and 2
real contenders in that division. Yeah, and we'll go on to fight Nunes. Really interesting.
I hope Cerrone doesn't fall flat on this one. I'm sure he won't, but I just want him to continue this territory welterweight and get his Damian Maia or get his Tyron Woodley fight.
I mean, he's up to 5 now in welterweight.
Yeah, well
he's moving up gradually.
Yeah. Did you see? Let's stop previewing cards. Let's talk about a few more bits. So because we haven't really talked about like stuff that's actually happening. What do you think about Bisping and Woodley? Do you see that little thing, a catch weight or maybe fight for Bisping's belt? What did you think of that?
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't want it to happen.
You don't want it to happen?
Because you've got Romero, who is now one contender. You've got Thompson. Both of those guys. You've been fighting people in their fight people in your own division.
They're both trying to? Do you think Woodley's trying to avoid Thompson?
Bisping's trying to avoid Romero.
Romero.
I don't think it's that intentional, but I think with these, it's again back to WME and these new owners. There's so much more money in it now. They know there's a bigger chance because it's so much more publicised for UFC. They know there's a bigger chance of getting a bigger fight if they go out and get it themselves. Because you saw Bisping said in that Paige Van Zandt thing we just looked at there.
Yep.
He's saying you've got to go and get your fights yourself. You can't just be like, oh, I'm happy to whoever the UFC put in front of me.
You've got to call out people.
You have, but I think when you're the champion, it's a duty to fight who's deserving, not saying who you want to fight. Obviously they can, because they're in a position of the company now as champions. They can sometimes say, I want to fight this guy. But I just think it's a bit...
That's the real controversial thing right now, is it contenders going to fight? Is it the interest in money?
Exactly, yeah. Because that's the thing. There's an argument with... Well, I don't think he wants to, but when John Jones comes back in July, will he immediately go to DC or Rumble, or will he fight a Gustafsson, or will he fight a Manoa? Will he get an immediate title shot, or will he fight another contender? I think he said on Joe Rogan's podcast that I don't think he'll have a title shot. I don't think he...
What, not even interim title fight?
Yeah, it'll probably be an interim, won't it? He's already interim champion. He won interim at 197 in March, or whatever it was. So he'll maybe be two-time... He'll be interim champion and fight himself.
Two-time interim champion. I've never seen that before. Two-time interim champion.
And what else do we have to talk? So we've got 209, which I think could be a tasty card. Nothing's really been announced properly yet. We've got Overeem Hunt, who was it Mark Hunt race? He fought that juiced-up gorilla and Brock Lesnar. Good riddance. And Alex Overeem, he just fought for the belt and lost.
I'm not sure Brock is necessarily gone yet.
Well, he's got contracts. Stuff.
I think he's back in about 6 months.
Well, he's legal to fight in 6 months.
Yeah.
But he's got the same more commitment to WWE. He signed a new contract with them last year, and he's fighting. He's at the Royal Rumble for them in January in a few weeks' time. But he has WrestleMania and all that sort of stuff. No, there's a lot more stuff.
209.
Yeah.
Diaz.
Exactly. The whole thing.
They
must. I think Nate and Nick must be getting phone calls every day because they love to talk about their area code. Exactly. It seems perfect for those who's been fighting hard. Because Nick is now legal to fight again, but I think he wants the big fight. Yeah, he wants that big fight for 2 years, because he was offered Robbie Lawler apparently, and he was like, no.
Turn it down. Yeah.
Yeah, which is surprising because they're both guys who. Because Robbie Lawler
just came history. I mean, Nick beat Lawler back in the day, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's also, they both came off like quite big things, coming for losing your title, coming off for suspension.
Lawler hasn't fought since, has he?
Not since he lost the belt. No, he was supposed to fight 205, I think, against Cerrone.
That was it. Got
yeah,
pulled.
that would have been so good. I would have loved that.
Just to make that card even a bit better.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm very intrigued about the 209 main event. I mean, I have a feeling Woodley will be the main event of that card. Because it's to be announced, to be determined, whatever.
But against who?
Oh, there's so many people, isn't there? I mean, I don't think McGregor. I think it's too soon. What is it, in 3 months? Less than 3 months now, March 4th.
I don't think he's gonna be back.
I don't want him to be back. I think he should fight Ferguson or Khabib. But I'd love to see Woodley either against Thompson or Nick Diaz. I think they're the 2 guys he'll be fighting. One of those 2. Oh, phones.
Yeah, I don't think Conor's going to come back for a while.
Nate, just because I want to see him fight again. Because everyone loves
I want to see
Diaz.
any Diaz fight.
Yeah.
Just Nick Diaz especially, because I haven't seen him fight for ages. And I thought, it's just the Nick Diaz factor. He's just so funny. I mean, just an animal in the cage. He doesn't give a shit. It's just Nick Diaz. There's nobody else like him, except his brother.
Yeah, except his brother. What did you think about? We've got New Year, new commentator Mike Goldberg's now left after how many years? 18 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be nearly 2 decades.
Yeah, around that. What do you think about that?
I am a bit sad because
he is the voice.
Yeah, I've grown up with Rogan and Goldberg, the classic, the duo.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many things you don't think about but are going to replace. Like, I mean, in the context of the world, it's not a big issue.
No.
But in the world of UFC,
iconic.
Yeah, because we watched before we started doing this podcast. There, we were watching a few fights from 207, and the way he would just say, "It is all over just like that." They're 2 things you just always expect to hear, and the way in which he introduces the card for each fight, and it's just nothing like
advertising in the fight. It's just
it seems inconsistent. Yeah, he actually makes the advertising bearable in between those fights, which is a tough thing to do. But he's such a pro; he can do it.
It won't be the same. We'll have to see how it goes.
I think analyst-wise, the colour commentator, the Joe Rogan position, they're set for years. Because you've got, even if Joe, I don't know how long he's going to stay around. I hope he stays around for a long time because everyone loves Joe Rogan. But I mean, you've got people like Dominic Cruz, Daniel Cormier, Kenny Florian, Michael Bisping, Dan Hardy.
I've seen Kenny do it,
Yeah, well, Kenny Florian's done it a few times. He did it on the Ferguson-Venata fight card back in the summer.
Oh, he's actually commentated?
Yeah, he did. He's done it a few times with John Anik. John Anik's brilliant. I wouldn't mind John Anik being the main guy now. I think he's really, really good, but he does a lot of desk stuff for main events.
As long as Joe's there, just because
we can't lose both.
He tagged him,
he tagged him. Yeah. That's it.
The classic lines. But anyway, there's good backup. Let's put it that way. Yeah,
definitely. So, anything else we can talk about today?
I don't know.
Lando Venata, he's fighting at 209. It's not officially on the thing yet, but he's going to be fighting at 209.
The wheel kick of doom.
Yeah, exactly. That was so good. I really liked him. Did you see him fight his fight against Ferguson? It was on BT Sports Top 10 of the Year, Lando Venata, because he came in on
against
2 weeks' notice. Yeah, he fought Tony Ferguson.
Really?
Came on 2 weeks' notice and he just fought Ferguson and he nearly beat him.
Wow.
He dropped him a few times, got a submission in. I think Tony Ferguson won on submission, but...
Oh, that's the thing we could talk about.
What?
Khabib and Tony.
Oh yeah, a lot's happened since that, hasn't it? Yeah. Let's go on. I'm gonna go on Nurmagomedov's Twitter because
I know that Khabib's your
hilarious.
guy.
He is. For Christmas I got a little UFC shirt with his name in the back, which I'll show you.
Yeah, you said you were gonna get that.
Yeah.
I need to get a cruise one.
Yeah, but not a gold and black one anymore, though. Woo.
Oh no. Well, it's probably good that I didn't get that then.
So yeah, if you go on Khabib's Twitter account the past few days, it is basically just him wanting this fight against Ferguson, which I think is warranted. Which is quite good to see. It's great to see in a number one contender that he doesn't just want to go straight for Conor McGregor. I think he's been told he can't.
I don't think he can't.
I think he knows he's got to get through Ferguson. But I think it's good because one of them's on an 8-fight winning streak, one of them's on a 9-fight winning streak. It makes sense that he's
undefeated.
Yeah, makes sense that he's still fighting. So we go.
Did you see he offered Tony $200,000
to
fight?
Yeah, because his contract's not as high, is it? I mean, like, yeah.
And the interesting thing is, Tony said, I think he toned it down, but he said that the problem's with the UFC. Then, if the fighter's gonna offer me money to fight, then there's got to be a problem with the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, you got today. He tweeted 12 hours ago. I'm not going to do it in a Russian accent, but even his tweets, you can just imagine it in a Russian accent. He's like, "I train with bears, lions, gorillas all my life. This is why Conor and Ferguson and all bums don't want to fight me." Then tagged Dana White and matchmaker Sean Shelby in it. he wants it to happen. Every single one of his tweets end in UFC 209. We want it to happen. I really hope it does, because it seems like the past year or so he's sort of actually had a few injuries, but now he's
on your mind.
he seems to have, oh, sorry guys. Let's listen to this. You got Errol Henway, like
Henway.
I don't know how you say his name.
Hewani,
whatever. I don't know how you say it. You know who I mean? Like the leading journalist in mixed martial arts. He was on Khabib was on his podcast a few weeks ago, and this is what he had to say about not being a trash talker, but a truth talker. Let's listen to it.
Talking to Dana White in the middle of the fight, telling him, what was on your mind. Did you plan on doing that, or did that just happen? Did you just notice him there and you were so fired up? I mean, I've never seen someone talk trash to Dana White in the middle of the fight and you're winning the fight.
You think this is trash?
No, but we call it trash talk in America. Not bad, it's just...
I don't like this.
Okay.
I don't like this.
Smack talk.
Of course, trash. No, like true talk. I am the true talker. Habib true talker Nurmagomedov. I am the true talker. And I talk about, hey, don't send me this bullshit contract no more and give me real fight. I'm gonna smash your boy.
There you go. Yeah, because he was calling, I think we talked about this on the last podcast, but he was calling McGregor to Dana. He's like, oh, your nephew or your baby boy.
I think it's your son.
Yeah.
I think he said, I'm going to smash your son.
Yeah. Let's go on Khabib. Khabib posts a lot on Instagram. Let's go on there, because that's really where most of his posts are in terms of wanting to have this fight. We don't have much from Ferguson, but so we had...
No, Tony's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get that contract sorted, which...
I think Tony's... I would fancy Tony in the fight, though. Everybody says that, obviously Khabib's an animal on the ground, but so's Tony. Like...
Well, while we're still there, yesterday, Khabib put a photo on Instagram saying, about starting my training camp, #UFC 8 weeks before the fight, about my opponent, I'll let you guys know soon. So...
I don't think he even knows, though.
Well, he's obviously started a contract, because he was training yesterday, and that's a video put on Instagram here, with him and his trainer practicing his stand-up, which I don't like. Get on the ground, please. Do not do stand-up. No, that's fine. But I can't wait. I love Nurmagomedov. I just think he's a truth talker, as he just said there. But I think
that's what Chael Sonnen said back in the day.
Whenever you get whichever division in, I think McGregor's in, it is the division in terms of how, and not in terms of interest, in terms of like just because he's there,
talent,
but everyone is now talking more. Because they know he's there.
The McGregor effect.
Yeah.
You have to talk to get fights now. You have to be relevant.
Yeah, I think I don't want to talk about anything else really, because we've talked about a lot, and there's a lot more to come in. I think after years 2-8, it's been a long one. This is, I think, the longest one. It's coming up to 45 minutes nearly.
Wow.
So yeah, we're going to end it here.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you soon. Bye.